Mr. Banks, I will first ask you a few questions about your driving on the day of the incident. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Mr. Banks, professionally, you were a forklift truck driver, aren't you?
Yes.
And you have been driving for over 10 years now.
Yes.
So you'd call yourself an experienced driver, wouldn't you?
I would say so, yes.
And on the day of the incident, you did complete the 3-point turn, didn't you?
I did complete it, yes.
And while the Range Rover was crossing your car, it slowed down, didn't it?
At the very last minute, yes.
But you were successful in completing the maneuver, weren't you?
I was able to complete the turn, yeah.
But still, you chose to do a sarcastic clap towards the Range Rover, didn't you?
Look, as far as I'm concerned, Anderson approached me at great speed. It was inappropriate, it was reckless, and I had my child on board in the car, and I just wanted him to know that I thought he was a prat.
With a child and your mother on board,
Yes.
you didn't care what a provocative sarcastic clap would do, did you?
I didn't expect it to do anything more than make a point to Anderson that I thought he was a prat.
So the point you were making was the fact that you were angry at that moment, weren't you?
I had been concerned about the speed he approached me, and I wanted him to know that I thought it was unnecessary and reckless.
But just to reiterate again, you did successfully complete the maneuver, didn't you?
Yes.
And in your witness statement and in the evidence a while ago, you told that Mr. Anderson shouted out of the window. Did you say that, Mr. Banks?
Yes.
And you also told during evidence in chief that he probably have soared out of the window. Did you say that?
Yes.
But you actually didn't hear any shouting, did you?
Yes, I did.
Mr. Anderson, you assumed that Mr. Banks, you assumed that Mr. Anderson shouted, but you didn't hear any shout, did you?
Yes, I did.
Did you hear any swear?
I can't remember any specific words, but I'm pretty sure he was swearing.
So you didn't hear Mr. Anderson swear, but you still chose to say that during your evidence, did you?
Yes, because it was my impression that that's what he did.
But actually, Mr. Banks, you were trying to make it look like that Mr. Anderson was the aggressive one, aren't you?
Well, there's no doubt about it, he was the aggressive one.
After passing your car, Mr. Anderson continued driving initially, didn't he?
Yes.
But then he stopped when he saw you got out of the car, didn't he?
No, it was seeing him slam on his brakes and get out that made me stop and get out.
You knew very well that you had your mother and your child with you, right?
Yes.
And you could have continued towards IKEA, couldn't you?
Yes, I suppose so.
But you still chose to also get out of the car, didn't you?
Yes.
So you had no concern about what would happen if you enter into an altercation to your mother and your child.
Well, I didn't expect there to be an altercation. I just thought that something had gone wrong and that, I needed to find out what was the matter.
Mr. Banks, you did sign a witness statement on the day of the incident, right?
Yes.
And you were told by the police that if there is anything missing or anything wrong in the witness statement, you could be prosecuted, right?
Yes.
And you signed and verified the rule in witness statement, right?
Yes.
And you said in your evidence a while ago that Mr. Anderson jumped straight out and stormed towards my car. Did you say that, Mr. Banks?
Yes.
Are you sure, Mr. Banks?
Yes.
But if you can look into your witness statement now, where could we find this statement that he jumped straight out and stormed towards my car?
He stopped his car and got out and started walking towards me.
But that's not what you said a while ago. You said he jumped straight out and stormed towards my car, right?
Yes.
So you were basically trying to bolster the evidence against Mr. Anderson, weren't you?
Storm, walk, it's all the same.
Mr. Anderson actually walked towards your car, right?
He was in a pumped up state when he came towards my car. Yes.
And that is because your demeanor at that moment was aggressive, wasn't it?
No.
Mr. Anderson did tell you that he gave way to you, right?
Yes.
And you told him, if my mom wasn't here, didn't you?
Don't recall saying that.
You told him this to indicate that you were about to be violent, weren't you?
No, what I said was, he kept on saying to me, when I said to him, you didn't give me any space, and well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And I just said, oh, for God's sake, get back in your car, little boy. That's what I said to him.
Mr. Banks, actually Mr. Anderson did not say what you were going to do about it, did he?
Yes, he did.
Rather, it was your mom who asked you to get back to your car, didn't she?
She did tell me to get back in my car, but she was telling Anderson also.
Just that's the question, Mr. Banks. Your mom actually told you that because she feared you were about to be aggressive, wasn't it?
Well, she may have done, but she could see that it would have been defending myself against Anderson.
And after a while, you called Mr. Anderson a little boy, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I said to him, get back in your car, little boy, because I could see he was spoiling for a fight.
Mr. Banks, you sarcastically clapped towards Mr. Anderson, you got out of the car, and you called him a little boy, right?
Well, I did all of those three things, yes.
And you did all of those to provoke Mr. Anderson, weren't you?
No, I did not want to provoke him.
And after that, you stepped towards Mr. Anderson and punched him, didn't you?
He punched me twice. I didn't get punching.
Mr. Banks, Mr. Anderson only punched you after you punched him, right?
No, wrong.
And after that, it turned into a scuffle, didn't it?
Yeah, we did end up on the ground. Yes, that's true.
And you rugby tackled Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
And you also hit his ribs.
I may well have done, but he was certainly punching mine. I was just doing my best to fend him off.
And at one point, you also ripped Mr. Anderson's trouser, didn't you?
Well, I don't know whether I did it or whether that happened when he fell through the fence.
So, Mr. Banks, you rugby tackled Mr. Anderson, you hit him to the ribs, and you ripped his trouser, didn't you?
Well, I didn't rip his tracksuit bottoms.
So, overall, you were quite aggressive towards Mr. Anderson, weren't you?
I was just being defensive, that's all.
And just a while ago during your evidence, you said, Mr. Anderson shouted, just you wait, I haven't finished yet. Did you say that, Mr. Banks?
No, I did not.
Mr. Banks, are you sure that a while ago during your evidence in chief, you didn't say that Mr. Anderson shouted at you saying, just you wait, I haven't finished yet?
Oh, maybe I did.
Well, I can help the court. He did. I heard it. I wrote it down at the time. So he did, I'm afraid, Mr. Banks. Please continue, counsel.
But once again, if we look at your witness statement, we won't be able to find, just you wait, I haven't finished yet, would we?
I don't know, I can't remember.
And so, for the second instance during giving evidence, you tried to bolster evidence against Mr. Anderson, didn't you?
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you. Look, when I made that statement, I had spent the night in hospital. I'd had surgery on my eye, gluing my eye up. I'd passed out. You know, things have come back to me since.
But Mr. Banks, your memory would have been fresh right after the incident rather than a few weeks later, right?
Well, under the circumstances, well, maybe, yes.
So right now, you are trying and fabricating new information against Mr. Anderson.
I'm not fabricating any new information.
And we're doing that to make it look like Mr. Anderson is the aggressive person, but you were the aggressive person, weren't you?
No, I was not.
All right, Mr. Banks, I will now ask you a few questions about what happened after you guys fell through the fence. If you look at the sketch plan on the incident, which you yourself drawn, there is a pedestrian path to your grandmother's house, right?
Yes.
And it's possible to use that pedestrian path to go to your grandmother's house, right?
Yeah.
But you did not use that path, right?
No.
You chose to stay on the main road and walk towards the Range Rover, right?
Yes, but as I say, that was only a few seconds before I passed out. I was in a daze. I didn't know what I was doing.
In a daze, you chose to get down from the pedestrian path and walk towards the Range Rover, right?
I must have done, yes.
And you did that to damage the Range Rover, didn't you?
No, I didn't set out to do all the damage that happened was because I was trying to protect myself.
If you wanted to be somewhere safe, say for example your grandmother's house, you could have just used the pedestrian path, couldn't you?
I suppose so, yes, if I'd been in my right mind, yes.
But still, you chose to damage the Range Rover, right?
No, I didn't choose to damage it. I grabbed hold of the windscreen wipers to save myself from going under the vehicle itself as he came towards me.
But Mr. Max, before grabbing that, you damaged the rear wheel arch of the Range Rover, didn't you?
I don't remember doing anything like that.
And then you tried to damage the windscreen wipers, didn't you?
As I say, I only grabbed them to protect myself.
And later on, you also grabbed the wing mirror of the car, didn't you?
Yes, that was to try and keep me upright, yes. Well, I hit it as I fell off the bonnet. So.
And at that time, you told Mr. Anderson, I'm going to kill you, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You also told Mr. James that you were going to get it too, didn't you?
No.
There was actually no collision between you and the Range Rover, was there?
There was. I ended up on the bonnet and grabbing the windscreen wipers and then, fortunately, not going under the vehicle.
Mr. Banks, it's a Range Rover, a pretty big car, isn't it?
Yes.
And to get onto the bonnet, you literally have to jump on the bonnet, right?
I don't remember how I got up there now. It's just a bit of a blur.
And seeing your actions, Mr. Anderson was pretty scared, wasn't he?
I can't imagine he was scared. He was more worried about his vehicle than me.
He must be scared because you were trying to damage his car and threatening him, weren't you?
No.
And you also said a while ago that Mr. Anderson, while driving away, was laughing at you. Did you say that, Mr. Banks?
I heard, as I passed out on the road there, I heard somebody laughing.
But once again, we won't find anything about this laughing incident in your witness statement, would we?
I'm sorry, but some of these things came to me after, since the incident.
So, Mr. Banks, you don't remember kicking the rear wheel of the car, but you remember him laughing. You remember an expression, right?
Yes. I just have a memory of there's somebody laughing very loud as I passed out.